I bet you wouldn't know from looking at how dark it is outside that it is currently noon. Hello friends, welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to give you my thoughts and review on the Elizabeth Mott Thank Me Later Face Primer, and this is the Illuminating Face Primer. I received this primer, I want to say, in my November Ipsy bag. I have been testing this. I used it as my only primer for about a week with a number of different foundations, and then I've been using it on and off since, trying it in different ways. Ooh, excuse me, that's my phone. Turn you off. I've tried it in different ways, I've tried it with different techniques, and I have opinions on it, which I will share with you. I'm going to tell you first about this product, I'm going to show me applying the product, and then I will give you my thoughts at the end. So I feel like I have reviewed an Elizabeth Mott product before because I recognize the brand name and I think I've talked about it. However, it's been a little while. Just very quickly about the brand. The founder of the brand is not Elizabeth Mott. I thought this was going to be Elizabeth Mott. It is not. Rhyming in a way I didn't mean it to. Elizabeth and Mott are the names of two streets in New York in the Nolita area, which means north of Little Italy. And the woman who did found this brand, she worked for many, many years, for most of her career in fashion in New York. And so she spent a lot of time in different neighborhoods in New York, and that is where Elizabeth Mott comes from. So there's a couple of different things that went into her perspective on this brand. She worked long days and nights and in fashion week, and she was looking for makeup that would last her through the day so that she wouldn't feel a need to reapply, that she wouldn't look, her makeup wouldn't look totally worn out, during these 14, 16-hour days. At the same time, she talks about in her background that she has some Korean heritage and really liked Korean beauty products, so she was bringing some of the pieces of Korean beauty into her brand as well. The brand is fairly, from what I can tell, sort of like a little above drugstore price, but it's pretty affordable. They definitely do not have an entire line of products. They have sort of like some bronzers, some highlighters, some brushes, some lip products. I think their mascara is probably the best known. They also have primers. Some contour powder products. I do feel like looking at this brand, it's a little all over the place in terms of branding. There's some stuff that looks more sleek. There's some stuff that looks more drugstore. There's some stuff that looks very much kind of like Buxom or not Benefit. Who am I thinking of? The Balm products. Like it doesn't seem to have a cohesive look as a brand, but as long as the products are good, I feel like this brand is still maybe finding its feet a little bit. So that's as much as I'm going to say about Elizabeth Mott, the company. Let me tell you specifically about the claims for this primer. The Elizabeth Mott Face Primer costs $20 American for 30 grams of product. To put that in perspective, this right here is 5 grams of product, so you would get 6 times this. It comes in 2 kinds. There is a matte pore refining primer, and then there is also an illuminating primer. This is described as a natural glow getter that has pearl powder to give you a totally lit from within iridescence. It's the ideal first step in your daily makeup routine and the one you will reach for anytime you're wanting a natural glow. This formula is hydrating and helps your makeup go the extra mile, helping you create a smooth and poreless canvas. It says it's ideal for first step prep, balancing and brightening, makeup enhancing, skin smoothing, and hydrating. It says why it's so good. It's cruelty-free, it's paraben-free, with sebum controlling powder that combats oiliness. Although I feel like that is more for the matte one, even though it's listed on the illuminating page. It is sweatproof and waterproof. The pearl powder that enhances the appearance of makeup. It also brightens skin and balances skin tone. It is lightweight, a well-balanced priming formula that creates a smooth canvas for makeup application, and it's weightless feeling, non-greasy, and long-lasting. This is a silicone-based primer. The third ingredient is dimethicone. I will also mention that there is fragrance in here, as well as straight up alcohol as one of the ingredients. It's down towards the end, but it's there. I do feel like that's everything I have to tell you about the product, so let me show you me applying it. Application time. I have washed and moisturized my face, given my moisturizer a little bit of time to sink in, and now it is time for the Thank Me Later Illuminating Primer from Elizabeth Mott. I don't know why I'm telling you this again. You've seen it at the start of the video. So I'm hoping it will pick up on camera what this primer looks like. So I'm putting a bunch of it on my finger here, and it looks bluish, like a very light blue. But I'm hoping when you put this on, you'll be able to see that it almost is like a, I want to say like a unicorn skin, but that's not right. Like it's almost a little like duochrome pink and purple. I don't know if you can see that my face is looking maybe a little like it has a shine that's like a duochrome kind of shine. Very subtle. It doesn't feel like it has a slip at all to it. It just feels like a pretty thin moisturizer. And gives, yeah, I mean, a bit of glow. Please ignore the pimples and things I have going on. I think that's just from Christmas. I forgot my overnight bag when I went to my sister's place, so I had makeup on all day and then didn't really wash it off properly. I used my micellar water, but my face still felt really sticky. I didn't really do my proper skincare for like 2 days, so I feel like this is reflecting that. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm any more illuminated. I maybe have a little bit, as I said, the tiniest bit of like sort of a pinky purple reflect going on. And this does sink in pretty quickly, so in putting on my foundation, it's not like it would mix together with the primer at all, but I'll just do that now. This is the Sephora Makes No Mistakes foundation. It's not my favorite stick foundation. I find it doesn't look great long-term, but like I like it for the first couple hours it's applied. And I'm going to be using this BoxyCharm really dense brush. I don't like it as much as my crown brush. I don't like how it's rounded. It just makes it a little harder to blend. And even though it's densely packed, it feels just a little flimsier than my usual paddle brush. Yeah, this brush almost feels like it absorbs more of the foundation. Oops, and I keep hitting this big pokey part of it against things than my usual paddle brush does. So the reason that I put my foundation on camera is I do feel like as soon as foundation goes on, there's no illuminating quality that comes through from the primer, unfortunately. I'm gonna go get on the rest of my makeup. My thoughts on this primer is that it doesn't do anything. I found that it wasn't particularly hydrating. It wasn't particularly brightening. Once you put the foundation on, any illumination that it provided went away. It didn't have ingredients that I felt, I mean, it didn't do badly on my skin, but it didn't do great. And if you look at the ingredient list, there's not really anything in there that I would look at and go, oh, that looks like a good ingredient. Like, it's a lot of the ingredients that you usually see in primers for making things smooth, but there's no particularly like highlighted hydrating ingredients in there. I found that when I was doing half face tests with this, as I tend to do, I saw no difference from one side to the other. I even tried to put this on almost like with my foundation. So I would squirt a bit of foundation, squirt a bit of this primer and mix it in together to hopefully get some of that pearlescent and illumination to actually come through in my foundation. And it didn't. It didn't do anything bad for me, but it did nothing for me at all. It didn't feel particularly smoothing. Like, it might be good for some people that it doesn't have that sort of silicone slip, but at the same time, it didn't feel particularly smoothing, particularly hydrating. I didn't find it to be particularly oil controlling, even though I don't have oily skin. And yeah, it just didn't do anything for me. The only thing that I could see this maybe being good for is if you didn't want to wear makeup one day and you put this on because you kind of liked having that little bit of like pearlescent glow in the sun. But even then, that would be very specific, and I don't think enough to warrant buying this product. I feel kind of bad saying that, but I definitely have other primers that I like a whole lot more. I find there are some products that I try and I just don't want to move on to the next thing. And there's some products that I try where after about 3 days, I'm like, oh yeah, I still need to keep using that product to see if maybe it works really well with another foundation or used in a different way. And it doesn't make me excited to keep trying it. And unfortunately, this was one of those products. So for me, it's going to be a save your money on this one and find something else that works for you. If you do want a kind of foundation primer that actually will sort of mix in with your foundation and give you more of a glow, I would recommend the MAC Strobe Cream. I actually really liked that as an illuminating primer that did have a bit of that pearlescent, iridescent glow to it. I will link down below my review of that video, but I did find that that product did what this product was probably trying to do, but did not. If this review is helpful, please consider giving this video a thumbs up. Please let me know what you thought of this product if you have tried it, or if any Elizabeth Mott products are just like amazing products that I should try. Let me know all of that in the comments down below. Thank you so much for joining me for this review today, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye!